after how long I spent editing that last video, today's video, I'm not really going to edit it much. And all I'm going to do is just have a real quick intro here. I'm just going to talk for like a minute or so. And anyway, so what we did is we went to Minneapolis State Park, me and Patrick and Sarge, my dog. And then later in the day, we went up here to downtown Minneapolis, down there by the Mill Ruin area. I mean, we did more during the day, but it turned out, I guess that's about all I filmed during that day. So that's fine. I'll just go with that. And anyway, but the thing to notice is about these. Okay, so both of them are two different waterfalls, and they're similar. Just one is in the more urban environment. And the thing to think, as far as like the general theme of this 30-day thing, was just to use those different like psychological principles. I guess the only thing that I'm going to say about this, you can just look at the end if you just want an explanation about what I was doing with this series, was but just being able to see the connections, like the abstract beauty of things, being able to see like how things are layered, like the rocks and stuff, and understand those things, and how also like these two places and down these two waterfalls and this little like waterfall I saw down in Missouri, they're all linked by the same type of layer of rock and the same processes. So that's one thing, which is mostly what we're calling like it's St. Peter Sandstone. And then the other part, and I should note that St. Peter Sandstone is that really soft, kind of sugary stuff. You can just kind of pretty much just scrape it with your fingernail, and it kind of comes out to be this real pure sand. And you can see it in places like those street caves there and different areas along there in West St. Paul and a lot of other places. And now if it was just that, it would probably just get worn down evenly if it was just that soft stuff. But because usually it has this layer of limestone, particularly Platteville limestone in Minneapolis, and I believe probably in that other place as well. If at any rate, it's going to usually be some type of carbonate, even it might be dolomite. But anyway, and that stuff is not worn out. So basically that forms a cap, and then it kind of like starts digging down like in front of the thing or whatever. It kind of and then eventually then it gets to where it collapses. That it digs too much like underneath that shelf of carbonate, and then it'll collapse, and then the waterfall will start moving further upstream. Just the idea of maybe when you go to these places, understanding like the beauty. So you can also look for any other kind of like the shapes, abstract beauty and things. But the other thing is when you go to this is this flowing beauty, and part of that is like, of course, all the natural shapes, and beautiful environments, the feels, the wind blowing at these different places, like down here, maybe not so much downtown, but in some other ways. But the other thing too is like is in your mind, you can imagine like stuff like these glaciers coming through and like carrying these boulders that have nothing to do with like the area they're in. That's like a totally different rock. It may have come up from Duluth, Canada, or someplace further up. Me, Sarge, some other people, Oliver. We're here at Minneapolis State Park in Mankato. This park also has some bison, but they're not. We don't think they're probably up. They probably don't come to this part of the park too much. We don't think up on the hills here. We're just like, well, I guess I'll film when we go out. There's a big like wildflower prairie area. Now we're more like up in the woods, up in the hills up here. Old windmill here. There are some wildflowers up here too.
Hey, let's see if these people take a picture of us here.
Huh? Oh. Oh, okay. I'm gonna line up for a picture. Okay, here we are at the base of the mill. And okay, we got a big area over here. We can look down in a second. Okay. Come on, Bubba.
1862.
So there must be I guess, is there a water source down there?
It's an air mill.
Oh.
I don't know if I was filming any of that. Okay, here's the valley here. There was the mill up there. Okay. I don't know if I was filming any of that. Ooh, that's really nice. So that's really So they do some controlled burns or whatever to keep it like, you know, as close to like, you know, at the pre-settlement prairie type area, you know, basically, as much as they can. There's buffalo here, so I guess they just recently brought the buffalo in. They think they said there's about. Yes, oh, sorry, they do come up here. But the buffalo, they said there's about 28 of them. The herd was down there earlier, but we don't. Yeah, pretty nice. So. So, oh, okay. There's a gate for the thing. Okay, so this is technically the same state park, but it's disconnected. But this is like the waterfall area, and also like a much more shaded area. As much as we like those prairies, the wildflowers, it is nice. We do like naturally like walking in shade. Nice oak tree, a small oak tree, but it's getting there. Someone put their name on it. Uh-oh, buddy, I think I'm getting too tall for you, buddy. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Minneapolis, I mean, waterfalling twice. So here's the first one.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Oh.
Maybe I get to go.
So you're thinking right at the ledge, that's probably limestone there, and it's pretty much, it might almost be sandstone to the top. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
This thing really gets going in the spring.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the sandstone, but I think it was supposed to be. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Oh, look, there's a bean picture. Looks more gray than blue and line than it's kind of blue.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, don't know if me and Sarge here at the mill ruins here on the pathway leading up to the old stone bridge here. Or I suppose we're on the stone bridge at this point. Yeah, okay, it's just the more, you know. There's ruins of like where the mills used to be, where they brought water through there and stuff like that. Different channels for turning big wheels for grinding grain into cereal. The whole cereal industry was basically born here because of that, you know. Back when electricity hadn't quite taken over, you know, at that point. The water power was important. Actually, kind of like you can see there's like a man-made cave down there. It's like, well, I wonder if that's, oh yeah, I don't know if there's natural rock along there, if that's all just like the cave rock, rock they brought in. Anyway, let's go forward, Sarge, a little bit. Yeah, so me and the Sergeant Meister General, Patrick back there. the unnamed guy who happens to be there, but you know, I can mention a little bit of stuff he did or whatever. Just he doesn't want to be photographed or hurt or audio. Now you can see this is kind of like some rough-hewn rock, and it looks like pretty much like it doesn't look that much different than the rock in the cliffs. You know, the way it's still got all the sediments and stuff. This is probably like limestone here. Yeah.
They had to go.
If you look carefully, you can probably even see like some fossils and stuff in there.
Joe had to go. So maybe what?
Now, of course, this is more like concrete here. This is probably laid later on to make it nicer for a walkway. And I guess that's about like where the rails were, I guess. Yeah. There's like a locket dam down there. Yeah, so pretty nice. Pretty soon we'll get to see the waterfall in a second as we make it around this section here. Now the waterfall, there was a period a while back where they thought the waterfall was going to collapse, and I think they managed to like fix the problem, fix it. But it's that same material we saw, really that same kind of waterfall we saw like earlier today, that where it has that limestone on top and the sandstone underneath that erodes, and then it forms the waterfall, and it has like a cap of limestone on top, you know. Some of us may try to get a feather in our cap, but this one has a cap of limestone, so figure that. Over here, buddy. Okay, there we go. The waterfall. Now, part of that is like, obviously that concrete that faces going down is, you know, not natural, but so it's been kind of fortified throughout the years. But anyway. Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's go. Changing the shape. Okay, yeah, I mentioned shaping, how they change the shape of the you can read all about it. So there's a lock there. Sorry, buddy. Hey, hold on. Okay, one thing I guess I didn't really show is like what the stone bridge looks like. You couldn't see it from that angle, but yeah, there it is. Made of stone. There we get a better shot. This 30-day YouTube mini-series is a psychological experiment using Jungian psychology to live better and experience more this summer. I'm not a psychologist, just a layman looking to apply Jungian principles of life. I'm starting with the idea that the unconscious mind is very smart and tells us things. And believing in this, I drove up to Hibbing, Minnesota, and I found that 4 locations in Hibbing, Minnesota corresponded quite well to 4 different principles called the Hibbing Quaternity. The first one is the Hibbing Ghost Town, which the characteristics is you feel the echo of the past as the wind flows down established paths. This represents unconscious voice being in the center of a moving circle, the mother archetype, home, center, castle, etc. The character I'm coming up with here to explain it is Nellie, the ghost sheepdog mom who circles the area, protects and guides. The Greyhound Museum has to do with travel and also the Jungian idea of beauty as a way of mentally feeling your way into physical objects and flowing into life in general, flowing beauty, mentally becoming part of the object. The character here I'm coming up with is Flows With It, which is a Native American cartoon character who has a magic canoe, finds all past, glides over, portages, flows into life. Now the ore pit, it represents awe, the smallness of the individual, abstraction, and the way to in making the world simpler, more understandable. Connections, the beauty of symmetry, the beauty of maps, beauty of mathematics. And this is supposed to be Laser Nash. Doesn't look like him that much, but anyway, it's like John Nash with his cup sending out all these laser beams across, dividing the world, trying to find that order in the chaos from A Beautiful Mind, if you haven't seen that movie. Bob Dylan's home. It represents stories, archetypes, wishing to become someone else. DJ Hat Trick, what he does is he gets people into the groove by putting different hats on and sending people into different paths. It's sort of like the way we do whenever we listen to a song, for example. Here's a simplified view of the Quaternity here that I'm going to be using for this 30-day adventure. And this is what it's going to more look like. I'm just going to do a simple sketch that I'll put in the video and then just kind of explain it like on a notepad like this to make it simpler so I can get it done, so I can do a video for 30 days. And so subscribe to get all 30 of those videos.